Good morning, peeps. It is T-minus 1 day until we're leaving for Big Red Bash. Last night, it was such a busy day. Yesterday, spent most of the day, Saturday, at the new place making all the new floors. Heaps of innovative things happening there. I'll talk about that another time. But then I really wanted to get these lights going. So installed these, can't even think. It's been a late night, early morning. Installed the supernovas on Thursday, whenever it was. And yeah, I thought I'd blown a fuse, and the fuse is in a really awkward spot underneath my false floor. So pulled the whole back of my car apart. Turns out it wasn't a fuse, it was a relay. And basically I just need to upgrade the relay. But I stripped my car potentially for nothing. So I've got to pull all that back together. Done. I'll show you the back of my car in a minute. Got a heap of parts still to go in the car today. Still have to sort out the stone proofing under the van, some sort of stone stomper, finish the lithium battery install in the van, and yeah, put my car back together. And I went and bought the King's $119 Toolkit because Facebook keeps throwing it in my face. So I thought, fine, I'll buy one and I'll do a review. I will do the review, but the hot tip, it's a bit crap if you own a Y62, because I'll show you. I'm going through here, like 16 mil is a very common size for a Y62, and they've got 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It skips 15, 16 and goes straight to 17 and then up from there. And there's heaps of other little weird things, like the sockets. They do like unusual steps as well. And then when you go, it goes like, I don't think it's even got a 15. Then you go to like 16 and it turns into a long socket, I guess a spark plug socket. And then it goes back to normal size, and then it skips a few sizes, and then it goes up to like a 32 mil, which is great for front drive shafts, but it's just weird sizing. Anyway, this isn't the review video, so I'm gonna stop talking about this, but I will do a comparison of the Stanley versus the King's one a little bit later. Also, the ladder was fouling the new rear bar and making an awful rattle. So I've worked out what I need to do here. It's just a little mod in here. So we'll put this into the design so it can go around this sort of hinging component. And then the step, I had to remove the bottom step. So I'll probably relocate that up or do something there. But we can get it all to work, which I'm pretty happy, because this is really quite compact for a rear bar. Usually they'd hang out a lot more than that. Oh, and I forgot, I've got to do this too. Haven't worked out the light on the number plate, so I've just got like this magnetic one. So yeah, I should probably do a bit better job at that. That's today as well. I think it's going to be a big day. Back of the car as well and truly. Oh. Back of the car as well and truly tipped up at the moment. Let's have a look where I got up to last night. Oh yes, that's right. Fridge is out, everything's out. All right, I'm gonna lift this floor up and get into it, I think. On the Insta post last night, people asking me about this light. This is a Safari, S-A-F-I-E-R-Y light. I've got heaps of them. I just haven't put them like on our website yet, but they're pretty cool. So I'll give you a little tour. You can basically push these buttons here and all the lights come on like that. There's amber and white lights, and you can choose the intensities. You can dim them down if you press and hold the button. So I'm just holding the button down, it should be dimming, and I can dim up. Not a great photo of my head, but dim up. So these are negatively switched, and the outer ones, 1, 2, 3, are 2 amp maximum. So keep that in mind when, if you order one of these. And then this one on the top left is an 8 amp. So I'm gonna probably connect that up to the lights down here, which I've now mounted, I can show you. I think I'm gonna run 2 lights. We're gonna test this out when we go out to Big Red Bash, because I think that'll have a better spread. then this one I think looks heaps better, but it's got more of a spot, so, and it's really quite bright too. But that definitely looks better. Now this new tow bar sits higher as well, so I'm gonna have to bring out the big the big plough hitch to go in there instead. Good for departure angle and stuff, but I do have to be mindful about the leverage on this tow bar as well. So we'll do that. As I'm doing this, so the other dilemmas that is happening at the moment is there's two ways from Adelaide to get to Big Red Bash. So straight up through South Australia, or go into New South Wales, Queensland and around. Now, with all this corona stuff, which seems like every time I go away, I have to watch what's happening with border closures and all that sort of thing with COVID. It's pretty much out, I think, going through New South Wales. The other problem is if I go straight up, if you look at the Birdsville track notification, it's in, like, there's a colour scale. It goes from like blue, green, yellow, orange, red. Red's like no-go. And orange, it's weird. If you can interpret this scale better than me, please do it, because yellow says full drives under 3 tonne, not towing. But then like it escalates to orange and that says full drives only. That's what the condition is right now. So there must have had a bit of rain up there. But does orange mean I can take my car and caravan because it's a full drive, even though the yellow said no towing and under 3 tonne? Like, I'm gonna be over 3 tonne. So I think we're just gonna go up there and see what happens when we get there. And if we have to wait for track conditions to improve, that's what we're gonna have to do. But once again, we're trying to navigate our way through COVID to get to somewhere. There we go, hitch done. Now to hook it up and see if the heights, I did measure it, but I think it should be all right. Give it a go. It's always hard with these hitches because, you know, there's 25 mil between each hole, and sometimes you only want to adjust it by like 15 mil, so you have to either accept being dipped a little bit at the front, although with airbags I might be able to play around with that. So we'll hitch up and have a look. It's not looking too bad actually. Nothing in the airbags yet. I reckon, yeah, put about 40 in the airbags and that's going to sit pretty good. I'll show you the airbag setup I've got. The back of the car is all pulled apart and there's junk everywhere, so don't look at that. But you can see how this works. So that turns the compressor on, and then you can see the gauge. There we go. There's the gauge. Basically, you just press and hold both buttons. Ooh. Definitely makes the whole process of pumping up the airbag so much simpler. No more connecting the compressor to the battery, getting the hose out, going around the back, stuffing around. It's just button, done. And you can have this in the front of the car too. I just chose to have it at the back where everything is. Oh, that's 40 in the bags. I reckon that's pretty much perfect. That's about as good as you're gonna get. All right, off to Eddie now, because that's where most of my tools are. That's why I had me stuck last night. And then I can get stuck into all this. Got to get the bush barriers on. So much to do today, but we do want to leave tomorrow if we can. So I'm out at Eddie. Just went and filled up the diesel heater tank. Been running this diesel heater for, I reckon, 4 years. Did a install video on it ages ago. It's still cranking. It's still going really well. I've had to change the fuel line once, more of a maintenance thing than anything else. The only other issue I've had is dirt gets in the cap. So, and I've got to a point where I've been out at Mount Cole one year, it was freezing, and I had to just dump all the diesel, fill it up again with fresh diesel, and it was fine. It's just, it got dirt in the tank. So for Big Red Bash trip, I'm gonna clean it all up, and then I'm actually gonna tape the cap on. Still has to breathe through the top a little bit, it's got a little hole there, but yeah, I'll have to have a think about what I'm going to do there. Probably just leave the hole, but I'm going to take like a little 5 litre spare jerry can of diesel as well, just in case that happens again. But yeah, diesel heater, it's been cranking. I think it was like 250 bucks when I bought it. Oh, we'll give that a go. We'll see if that helps. All right, next is sorting out, like, battery's all done, just did that a minute ago, so lithium is all up and going. Next is to sort out the stone protection. So one is impact on the van. Two is rocks bouncing off back into the car window, although that spare tire is going to help. And I'm thinking about putting, like, just taping a yoga mat to the back window. And then three, underneath all the plumbing and stuff. Steve, the man that just keeps on giving to me, has found this sort of, I don't know, frame that he had. He bought it for his boat, but he knew I was in desperate need. But I reckon I might be able to fit that onto the front of the van. And then it's got these little brackets. So essentially that frame bolts to this, and then that can slip on. So when I'm in transit, I can clip it on. And then when I want to unhitch and actually use my spare wheel carrier, or flip the wheel carrier out, I can take the whole system off. I think this could work. Like, 11th hour. I did want to build like a stone stomper, but now this is in front of me, I'm just going to do this. Alright, this seems to turn out alright. Just put the shade cloth on. Hopefully I can just slip it on now. I reckon that'll work. Definitely going to be better than nothing. I'll just, when I unhitch, I'm obviously going to have to take it off, and when I want to access the back of the car, I'm going to obviously have to take it off, but that's going to help save the caravan a fair bit. I reckon now I'll just try and make some largish mud flaps, and then I can get under the van and do the next bit. Alright, found, well, again, Steve to the rescue, some big bits of rubber to make some big mud flaps back here, but the thing is, like, no, that's not going to work. Like, that's close, but still I'm not kind of convinced on that. Almost need something to be sort of, to actually block the wheel. It needs to be wider than the car, so I need it to be like out here somewhere, and probably like a lot longer as well. So I reckon this is going to be a quick trip to Bunnings. Maybe some 1-inch RHS, a bar right across. I'll build a collar on top of the tow bar so I can slot into the tow bar with a bolt probably from underneath to hold it. And then I can hang something out here, I reckon. Bit of stuffing around, but we've got to do this. Actually, thinking about this again, have a look under here. This is this new tow bar, no, wing support for the rear bar. It's got some little bits that dangle off of here. I could always make like a chain, and then another coupling like this on the other side. And I got this idea from Gavin Harris actually. Two bits of 6mm flat bar going across with a big rubber mat going to the ground. Besides the exhaust and stuff, I might have to cut some holes or modify a bit. That might get me like a quick and easy, like, big mud flap right across the whole bottom. Yep, I'm going to Bunnings. Right, 270 bucks at Bunnings later, and here goes nothing. I'll show you the plan. Right, what we ended up with was some 25mm square aluminium tube and 3mm flat bar, 3 metre lengths, but I'm going to aim for 2.2 metres wide. Then we've got this rubber. I've got 2 sheets of this, so they're 1.5 metres wide each by 1 metre by 2.5mm thick. I would have actually liked thicker, but that's all there was, so beggars can't be choosy. And then at the bottom, 2 bits of flat bar, just to give it an edge, I suppose. I reckon it's about 600mm I'm going to have, so I'll cut this 1 metre rubber down. And then fixing it all across with some aluminium rivets, top and bottom, and then a whole bunch of shackles, which I'll use that shackle arrangement that I was talking about earlier. Then other bits and pieces, white cloth tape, so that's to cover up all the vents and everything in the van, and I got white so it looks like rigididge. And I got some expanding foam. I've got two ideas for this. One, all the places like in the cupboards, like we've got a shoe cupboard where that just fills up with dust all the time, I'm going to hit it with this. And the last bit is my daughter's bike. I've fixed her tyre so many times. Like I must have spent like $200 on inner tubes and tyres, and it still leaks. I'm going to hit it with this and that will sort it out, I reckon, once and for all. So something like this, eye bolts through there, shackle. So now just pull it down, put the rubber up against it, flat bar on top, rivet it, and off we go. Quick test fit. Yeah, I'm gonna cut them, but I just wanted to work out what the drop was. It's like hanging curtains now, but I think that's gonna work out all right. Yeah, all right, so basically I'll just set my levels with the bottom of the hoist, cut it, and put the flat bar on the bottom as well to finish it off. I'll tell you, how good are air pot rivet guns? These are new in my life, but they're so freaking cool. Come on. That's just like too easy. All right, this is looking all right, but I have seen a problem. The exhaust, like without a doubt, that is going to melt through here. So I've got an idea. I don't know if it's going to work, but what I'm going to do, because I happen to have a heap of exhaust gaskets lying around, I'm going to put one on the front and back and put a washer on the back and then pot rivet it through as well. And that will be kind of an exhaust outlet. Be better than nothing, but we'll see how it goes. Hello. There we go. I don't know, look silly or not? I don't know, whatever. Well, that turned out pretty much perfect. And I can go to any B&S that I want to now. I looked the part. So next job, I think I will wash the car, do bush barriers, and then get into the van with the Space Invader stuff, and then get back to sort these lighting out and put the whole back of the car back together. We're doing well, but it's 3 o'clock. Time is ticking. All right, all washed and looking good. People ask me all the time, where do you store your bush barriers? I started off like, because they're magnets, putting them on the shipping container back here on the inside. But I found if I did that, the magnetism would start to wear out. So I've stopped doing that. Now, well, this is gonna be fun. Now I put them on a pallet and I put them up there. So, nuts. All right, I'm gonna go dig them down and start doing the bush barriers. All right, it wouldn't be a Y62 trip without some bush barriers. That's one of the things I love about this sort of community. Everyone like customizes their car and their bush barriers, and Actually, some people, quite a few actually, have asked if they can put like Dash Off-Road on there. I don't mind at all, it's like free advertising. Sky and Steve have got our logo, so if you want the Dash Off-Road logo on your bush barriers, no problem at all. All right, next job, trying to dust proof this van a bit more. The place is messy because I've pulled everything out of every cupboard. But if you can live with that, this is our shoe cupboard. And last time we went to Bendelby Ranges, this just got so filthy. And I think what happened is, like, I don't know, these grommets here sort of ruptured and dirt come through there and around the wheel arches. It's just not sealed very well. And the adjoining cupboards are exactly the same. So I'm going to get that space expanding foam stuff, put all around here. I'm gonna partition off each section, so if dust is in the cupboard that way, it won't get through. And I'm just gonna go crazy around all the wheel arches in the van and sort this out. Must admit, I'm really starting to run out of time now, but I'm worried about the plumbing. So, like, as a quick little thing, I'm just going to slice some of this pool noodle, put it over the plumbing, and wrap it with this fabric tape, and that's going to have to do. I don't know if this is actually going to do anything, but it'll make Sharon feel better about the whole trip. So I'm just going to keep going and putting this pool noodle on everything and taping it as much as I can and try and protect all the plumbing. Just got a text message, running out of light. I had my head deep in there fixing a relay, and I just got a message that the whole country is in turmoil with COVID, and everywhere it seems like except South Australia is locked down. So am I like doing all this for nothing? Like, this is the thing. I keep head down, bum up, and get this car ready so we can leave tomorrow morning, and hopefully the news sorts itself out. Or would I just pull the pin now and I'm going to work tomorrow as per normal? This is getting very annoying. Time to make some phone calls. I've been watching the news. Reading the news.com. I'm not really sure what to make of it. I'm busting my hump in here to sort this out. And I'm just thinking, is this in vain? Like, I had some stuff set up here to take you through what I would take on a trip like Big Red Bash into the middle of Australia, like air filters and brake switches and stuff like that. But I'll be honest, I've lost my motivation for ending this video. We got screwed on this last year. Oh, it's not anyone's fault. I'm just like venting. But like the 11th hour, like we're going tomorrow. I'm going somewhere. I don't know where. I might just go up to the Queensland border and sit there and wait until things get better and decide then. I don't know what I'm going to do. But this video isn't going to end with all the stuff that you should take on a trip if you own a Y62, sadly, or the things that, you know, if you're traveling to Big Red Bash that you should be considering, like I am. It's just going to end. All right. I'll keep vlogging in the coming days, but this video's done.